Hey first graders, today we are going to talk about time and learn how to read a clock. So first I want to introduce this clock. You may recognize it. It's called an analog clock. All these numbers and all these lines make up the face of the clock. So we call this the face of the clock. And the numbers that you see, they make up the hours that we go through each day. And the tiny lines that you see right here are the minutes in the hour. So there's 60 lines in total, and those make up the 60 minutes in an hour. This small pink hand is the hour hand. This big one is the minute hand. So when the minute hand moves, it moves in a direction, and that's called clockwise. So the minute hand moves in a clockwise direction, and it moves for each minute we go through. So if it moves 1 minute by minute, and as we get further in, the hour hand moves to show how far into the hour we are. So the minute hand moves faster than the hour hand because we go through more. Just like that. And each number that you see is worth 5 minutes. Let's count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It makes it easier for us to know that each number is worth 5 minutes and that we count by fives. And in between each one, you just count up by 1. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we know in between the 1 and the 2, that's worth 5 minutes. Let's practice telling some time. If I put my minute hand on the 5 and my hour hand is on the 2, what time is that? If you said 2:05, you are correct. This shows 2:05. Let's try one more. If I move my hand to the 6, and it's in between the 2 and the 3, so it's 2, what time is this? If you say 2:30, you're correct. Nice job. Now I want to talk about a different type of clock that you may be familiar with. So a different clock, it's called a digital clock, and you may have seen it on your parents' phone, on the microwave, or an alarm clock, and it may look something like this. This says 3 o'clock. It looks different because it only uses numbers. There's no lines and there's no face of the clock. And we separate our numbers using these 2 dots on top of each other. Let me make them bigger. These 2 dots on top of each other to separate the hours from the minutes. And it's called a colon. The 2 dots is called a colon. And so we have our hours on the left, so it's hour 3, and we have 0 minutes because we just started a new hour. So if this shows 3 o'clock on a digital clock, what would 3 o'clock look like on our analog? It would look something like this. We see that we are at 60 minutes, so we finished this whole hour. And our hour hand is at 3. So we're starting a new hour. So both of these show that it's 3 o'clock. Now let's practice telling some time on a digital clock. Let me write out one more. What time is this? If you said 1:45, you are correct. We say the hour, so we say 1, and we read this as a whole number. So we say 45 because we know that's the number 45. And then you put it together. 1, 45. So the difference between these two clocks is this one has a face, it has numbers and lines. Meanwhile, this one only has numbers. You have some activities in your new packet that you got where you have to practice telling time. And you have your own clock that you get to make. So make your clock and you can practice telling time like with this one. Move your minute hand and your hour hand and practice telling those times. I hope you had fun learning about time and how to read a clock, first graders. See you next time.